I'm Lauren from laurenslatest.com, and today in my kitchen we are making easy roasted red pepper dip. The very first thing we need to do is chop up some onion and some garlic. So we only need half of an onion, so I'm gonna cut it right in half. Save the rest, save the half, put it in the fridge for another recipe, but peel this half and chop it up. All right, so I'm not gonna cut the rest of the onion, don't be a hero. Don't go for the end. You'll cut your fingers, I promise you. So I'm actually going to, now that we have our onions all done, we're gonna preheat our skillet. I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of butter, and then we're gonna start cooking our onion. So after you get them all coated in butter, then you can kind of just let it rip. So while those onions are cooking, I'm going to chop up 2 cloves of garlic. So because we're making a dip with the onions and garlic, it's going into the roasted red pepper dip. You don't really have to be very careful with your mince. As long as you get them pretty small, they should be fine. You're throwing everything in the blender, so nothing has to be super even Steven. So we'll just peel the paper away, just like the onion, and run through it with my knife really quick and add it to my pan. So once you have that garlic in, it makes your kitchen smell amazing. And you're only gonna cook it maybe 1 or 2 minutes beyond this. The onions are gonna start to brown a little bit, but that's totally okay. That just means more flavor for your dip. Okay, so my onions and garlic are just slightly browned, so I'm gonna pull them off the heat and we're gonna finish our dip. Now that this part of the recipe is complete, I can finish the dip by adding everything into my blender. So to our onions and garlic, we're going to add in our jar of roasted red peppers. I already drained these, and there are usually about 2 whole peppers in here, and that's how many you want. So they're already drained. There might be a little bit of liquid in there still, but that's totally fine. And then we're gonna add in some mayonnaise. Not a ton, just 3 tablespoons. And then one of the last ingredients is cream cheese. And I'm gonna use half of this package, which is 4 ounces. Yeah, and the nice thing about this recipe is you don't have to bring the cream cheese to room temperature. It'll blend perfectly right out of the fridge. And I think part of the reason why it's so simple to do it that way is because the heat of the onions and the garlic will help break it down. So this is half of my package. Throw this in, sticky stuff. Last ingredients, of course, salt and pepper. Last part of this recipe is to blend. Away we go. Okay, so the dip I think is right where I want it. Not too smooth, but not too chunky. And we can pour it into our dish. We're ready to serve. I'm just gonna stir it up to make sure there aren't any big chunks. And then we can pour it into our bowl. And just like that, after 8 or 10 minutes, you have a really delicious and flavorful dip that can be so versatile. You can use it on anything. For this recipe and more, go to laurenslatest.com.